Okay, this is an introduction to researching U.S. patents. My name's Jake Goffredson, and we're going to go through 5 slides together and 4 short videos, so it should take 5 to 6 minutes. But I'm going to show you 3 different databases, and by the end of the lesson, we'll go to the first slide here so we can just get cracking. By the end of the lesson, you should feel comfortable locating the file history of a specific patent. You should also feel comfortable finding all U.S. patents for a specific inventor if you have a person's name in mind. And then I'll show you a broad overview of how to find other patents for a specific topic using the different finding aids and government databases. So off to the left here of this slide is a document called Conducting Patent-Related Research. All of you should have this as a download. Okay, I've selected the first patent for us to use here. It's this Slepian patent to the right, but I wanted to show everyone that you could really do this for whatever patent you find on your own. So what we're really searching for is this patent number up here in the right-hand corner of the Slepian patent. If we can find this key, we can enter it in the government database and retrieve all of the information that was filed relative to that patent. So we're in search of patent numbers or application numbers. In this video here, I'm showing though that you could go to Google, and Google has a website called Google Scholar, but they also have Google Patents. It's patents.google.com, and you can type in key terms that sort of describe a invention. So if we're looking for the original Apple iPod and we want to try and find the patent number for that, I type in rotating wheel. And then I typed in Steve Jobs because I know Steve Jobs is a named inventor. And you could filter by date or by name, but up here we have method and apparatus for use of rotational use inputs. And there's our patent number. So we'd copy that, and we would take that and put it into our government database. All right. But for this example, we're going to use the Slepian patent, which is 5328471. Of course, you don't have to remember that. It'll be on each of the slides. Once we find that patent number, we can take that patent number to this database. When you're an attorney in practice, you'll use private pair to file documents for your client, and you'll have your attorney number to help you log in. But public pair is where they house everything that is public information related to the patent process. So we would go to portal.uspto.gov/pair/public pair, and it's going to look like this. So we'd click the toggle for patent number. You could also search by PCT number if you knew that. And then we just take 5328471 from the top of Slepian, type it in here, search. And this is the home screen of the Patent Application Information Retrieval System. You can see here's the named inventor. Here's the address of the attorneys who handled the case. There's a tab called Continuity Data, which has all of the family that's related to this patent. And then here on the application data page, we have the different class and subclass, which is going to lead us to our next database. But the class and subclass helps identify what section of the patent office is tasked with examining this specific invention. So that 604 corresponds to a category, and 101 corresponds to a subcategory, and I'll show you that in just a second. But the key thing to remember here is that with application data, you have everything related to the inventor. With continuity data, you have all the related family. There's another tab in newer patents called the file wrapper, which is where all of the arguments between the attorneys are archived, but this is an old patent, so it's not there. And then the last one is assignments, which is who owns the patent. The last slide we're going to talk about here is how to search for inventions by a specific inventor. So we're going to use Marvin J. Slepian as the example and take that name over to this patft.gov website, which is a patent full-text searching database. And the reason I'm showing you this one last is because if you can become comfortable with patent full-text searching, then learning to search for patents in Westlaw or LexisNexis or any of the other subscription-based platforms is really simple. They have adopted the same search functionality. All right, so a key thing to recognize is that there's two places on patent full text that you can search. You can do a quick search or an advanced search. We want the advanced search because it's going to give us clues of how to actually enter this sort of Boolean terms and connector based queries that the database requires. So inventor is signified by IN, so I'm doing IN/Slepian. If you don't know the proper method to enter the key term, then you can just choose it from the field name down here, and they'll give you a clue as to what you're supposed to do. So inventor is IN/ and then the last name hyphen first name hyphen middle initial, if there is a middle initial. And then I'm doing an OR connector because I want to make sure that I get everything for Marvin Slepian and Marvin J. Slepian. Okay, so with that full text patent search, we have found all inventors with the name Slepian Marvin J. or Slepian Marvin. What if we wanted, though, to search by category, maybe by classification and subclass number? We would still use this query screen, the advanced search, but we would take the 604-101, or, as you can see on the face of the Slepian patent, if you pull it up, right here is another number called the international class number. So you could use either of those in the database. Let's go with the international class so I can show you one key example. So we're going to copy that. Okay, so if we're going to do the international class number, we can click on ICL to find out what input the database prefers for ICL. It pulls up this tips guide, which highlights that you cannot have any spaces when doing a query in this database. If there's a space, you have to fill it with a 0. Okay. So we'll go back to our screen, enter in our query, which I took from the face of the patent, and you could take it from the face of any patent. Okay, so I've entered the international classification query. As you can see, I put a 0 here where there was a space, and that will pull up all the patents that correspond to that same category of patent. Now 2,500 is a lot, so what if we wanted to narrow it by other criteria? We could include an inventor and see if there are any inventors that stand out in that category, and it looks like Marvin Slepian has 3 patents in that specific category inside the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Okay, and that concludes the tutorial on Introduction to Researching U.S. Patents.